Hello everybody, X Joe81X, and on the tubes today, what do you have? The original Nintendo Game Boy system. As we were growing up, being a child of the 80s, me being 35 years old, games would come out. I want Nintendo. I want Sega Genesis 64-bit. I want PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and we're at 4, 2016. So, Game Boy came out. I don't remember how much it was. I don't remember anything about getting it. It was either my birthday or it was Christmas. That's the way it worked in my family. So, I got the Game Boy. Obviously, it must have came in a little box. I'm sure you could Google something about original Game Boy, box. It probably came, blah, 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 blah. I eventually acquired something like this. I don't remember if I ended up buying this. I don't remember if it ended up giving, me getting this. But in this box is almost every accessory possibly that I've asked for while growing up. Something about the box is obviously it's intended, looks like a Game Boy. Could use cleaning with some wipes. Got a little model here. Model number GB-80. Let me just check. Oh, good. And then right here it says 1991 manufactured exclusively for ALS Industries and so and so. Manufacturers of really good stuff. There's actually a line there. It looks just like the Game Boy. And just leave it here. And then we'll just open her up. Good. Okay. And voila. I'll go through some of the stuff. Nice foam pad here. Basically, what you see is it holds the Game Boy, it holds a bunch of other stuff, a couple of games, and then as you accrued accessories, this thing kind of fit it. So without further ado, the original Game Boy. In original working order, volume, extension connector, contrast, I'll show you the keys, I'll show you the games another time. Model number DMX-01, 1989 Nintendo. DC is 6 volts at 0.7 watts. There she is. This so happened to be G24451457. I don't know if this is worth a lot of money. I don't think so. I think at one point it might have been worth a significant amount of money, but what's happening now is all this old stuff is popping back. Platform shoes, bell bottoms, and what's happening is everyone's buying these things out, and now all of a sudden a whole different world, or even people like me of my age are saying, oh, I remember that, let me buy that. But this is the original one. We'll go through all the accessories, and then I will continue to let you know what I have. So, while growing up, what did you have to do? You had to install 4 AA batteries. So you go and you put 4 AA batteries, which conveniently fit in this cylinder thing. These are old batteries. I'm going to throw them out after this video. Green cell, because they're just corroded. I'm just trying to find a date. I guess they didn't print dates on batteries back then. Singleman super heavy duty. I don't know if this is anyway, so you put your batteries in 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and you pop them in, and then turn the game in, and then there you go. Come on, the batteries die. Okay, Joey, let's go out and get some more batteries, and then you get batteries, and then that's it. So at some point they came out with this. This is a Interact Game Products SV-910 Handy Pack DC 4.8 volt Nikon battery pack. May explode if disposed in fire. Patent number so and so, made in China. Use Interact SV910 adapter, which is this thing right here. So this thing came with this adapter. It says DC 4.8 volts out, and then DC 6 volts in. So you can plug this in and charge it. I do have the book. Of course I do. I was raised to keep everything. I will show you what's under there later. I do have the book. It says Game Boy is registered, printed in Hong Kong. Just curious if there was a date. Here's the owner's manual. Other than the box it came in, as fresh as it can be. It says you could plug it in by itself. It says you could plug it in and then you plug in the Game Boy. And then all this stuff, caution this, caution that. And oh, it comes with a battery clip. So you could buy a couple of these, and then we'll go to your friend's house, and you could do this, and then you could put it on your belt, and you could either charge it while it's charging, and then come out and go back in. DC 6 volts, so it wouldn't go back in because it's only 4.6. Or you could charge it, put it on your belt, or you could whatever. For what it's worth, that's pretty funny. So I guess this all came as a package, and at some point, whether I don't know, I vaguely remember getting all this stuff. I think at some point, there was no internet back in the day. This might have been a commercial. This might have been just somebody randomly saying, "Hey, they make battery packs for that." So they always stayed in there. Clip will keep on the side. This we'll use later. Installation, maintenance, or service has a Nintendo World Class 1-800 number. I never try. I don't have a phone down here. I'd like to. Let me just try that. If it. 1 second. All right. Let's see.
Calling Nintendo. Let's connect you to a specialist quickly. Let's get started.
Para asistencia en español, oprima el número 9.
For parental controls,
I bet you they didn't have that in the
order
80s.
Or repair, press 1. For problems connecting to the internet or Netflix, or help with system updates, press 2.
They didn't have
For help
Netflix in
with
the 80s.
accounts, transferring content between systems, or build.
Okay, so it looks like they kept the number. Whether something happened to the number in between, it sounds like back in the 80s and 90s, this number would have sounded differently. So moving right along, we have the Game Boy thing. We have the Game Boy, move this aside. We have the battery holder. We have something that might have came with the other thing. That sounds right. Something that might have came with the other thing. I think what you could do is you could plug in the power on this side, and then plug this adapter in on the other side, and then you could plug this thing in, so you could charge the adapter and whatever, but then you could charge it in here. This is just a nice adapter to have. This holds the games. Obviously, I've collected only a couple of games. Grand Theft Auto, Bad Rad, F1 Racer, Super Nintendo Land, Super Mario Land, that's a fun one. Batman's cool, and then of course we'll test the system using Tetris. This right here must have been something that was purchased well into the future. Let me double check here. 1990, and this is 89, so for what it's worth, they made this later down the road. Model number DMG-07. This is DMG-01, so this is an authentic Nintendo part made in Japan. And basically it looks like you would plug this into my port, and if you plug it into here, and then what it does is F1 Racer or any other games, now what you're doing is you're coming out and with 4 players. I can't believe I actually own this. You come out with 4 players, and you could basically play any game that allows you to play 2 to 4 players. And then you just, this obviously sits there. Of course, why not? I have a cord, whether it came with it or not. So let me see, I'm about 6 feet, so about 5 feet. So you'd plug this, and then I'd have it coming out of my game, and then you'd have to, I don't recall if you have to own all the games. I don't recall. I don't know if everyone has to buy, F1 Racer, and everyone has to turn it on, or does the game originally come and use me, and then just branches off using everyone else? If you know that, please let me know. I do not have another Game Boy to test that out. So there's the Game Boy. Let's lift this up because obviously you could clean it. Here's the 4-player adapter, instruction booklet, operations, so here's the picture of all the 4 people. Turn on last, it tells you what to do. Make sure the power gamer system, insert the line, connect up to 3 Game Boy systems using 4-player double plug in one. I'm trying to see if it tells you to use a game. Include with each Game Boy purchase accessory, etc. Connect each Game Boy, then plug the other end of it. Insert the Game Pack title into each of the Game Boy systems. Insert the Game Pack title. Wow, so every single person has to buy the game. So it cannot use this interface and split it 4 times. Insert the game pack title into each Game Boy system. So not only is one person has to suck it up and purchase this thing, now everyone has to go and buy a game. I have the F1 Racer booklet, which was legit, and then the Super Mario booklet. I don't have any other booklet for what it's worth. Okay, let's see. Now this thing. I don't have any booklet. It's yellowed over time. This is made by Newbie. It's a GameLight Plus. It holds 4 AA batteries, which I have to take out because they're being crapped on. And basically it turns on and it doesn't work. There's a backlight and it magnifies it. This has no power accessory to it. That would have been great if they invented something where I could use this. So there's a little very, very, very sensitive line which has worn off. There's a line right here and it kind of just, oh sorry, there's a big line. So they're using the grooves of the Game Boy. You imagine doing this as a kid, slamming it on. Now I'm doing it just so I don't break it. So it sits on top of the Game Boy. Let's make sure that you have the good video. Okay, and then it turns on, and you could play the Game Boy. You could center the screen, so on and so forth. Okay, and then you could turn on, shut the lights, and then this turns on and glows light, and you could backlight the Game Boy because it has no backlight function. Then you could lift this up, and there you go. Now you could see Tetris. Well, you can see anything. See, you can see the game, twice as big for what it's worth. And then you could play all night. But the problem was now you have your Game Boy plugged in because they invented it, and then now you're still buying batteries because then this craps out. So they didn't make anything. The light feature was great at night because if you're laying in bed and it's bedtime, you could shut the volume off or put headphones in, and you could just sit there and play. But look at this apparatus, and this thing, relatively heavy for like a 5 to 10 year old, Comes off. That's that. Batteries are garbage. So what we'll do is we'll put in Tetris just because that's the game that everyone knows. Let me see, I think it's dead. Yeah, I got the line. It's dead. Okay, so what I'll do is I have this adapter. We could plug it in. Obviously, I bench test this before the video, so I didn't look like an idiot. This goes on the top. And knock on wood, hopefully this doesn't flag anything. Because I'd hate to ruin the video because Tetris said, no, wait, you can't do that. Oh, there's me. Hey. Looking behind the camera. So contrast. That works. Really dark. Really light. We'll get it dialed in so the camera could see it. The volume button was always up because you got your little 2-bit sound. 1989 Nintendo, 1 player. We'll hit pause. I'll just give you a couple seconds of sound. Music type, game type. Obviously this is the original Tetris sound. So we'll shut it off just so it doesn't get flagged. Level 0, top score. And here's Tetris. Obviously you can't see it that way, so we'll play. Obviously you press down if you wanted to just... shit, I messed that up. Oh, I'm looking at the camera. Well, obviously you know where that was supposed to go. So if you want to just wait, or you just hold it down. Too bad that little thing doesn't, like gravity doesn't take the whole game. Well, you get the idea of Tetris. And that's it. I'm not going to run through the games. That's on you. So, I guess that wraps this up. Nintendo Game Boy trademark. Nintendo Game Boy. I'm sure I could go online. I'm sure I could find other accessories, whether they're modern or they're on eBay or Craigslist, and people are trying to sell their own accessories. I actually, after this phase, and I went on to other things. There's Nintendo. There's Sega Genesis. I have Sega Genesis. I have PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. It just kept going. And then this died out. So now, you know, after a couple of years living in the house, and we're finally slowly unboxing boxes and moving material, I'm finding things. I'm getting the phone call, hey Joey, you have a box of stuff in your garage. And I'm, you know, I don't currently play this. I'll give you a sneak peek of my next video. I play this, Game Boy Advance SP, which is, oh, that almost broke, which is the newer version, just 2002. So, you know how that's going to work. It's almost 20 years difference. 2000, you know, so I don't know what happened. I went to the game console, and then there was a very small brief period when I did PC games. Flight Simulator 2000, Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein 3D. You get the floppy disk at the computer show. You pop it in, you upload it, and then you sit there for hours. Duke Nukem was really the biggest one that I played a lot. So anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and like I said, I went to a store and I purchased this game for like $3. No case. I probably could have asked him for a case. I popped it in on the other Nintendo. I popped it in on this. It works. And once in a while, when I'm bored, sitting on the couch or whatever, I pop it in on the color version, which I'll make a review on. But that's it. This is my youth. It still fully functions and works. So thanks for watching. Oops, excuse me. And stay tuned for other cool gaming videos.